In this episode of Drinking Made Easy, we zip our way into Indianapolis. We have some boozy cherries.
Those may be the best cherries I've ever had.
They're awesome.
Make some popcorn, and change some tires. It's Drinking Made Easy, Indianapolis. I'm Zane Lamprey, and my job is to drink. I'm traveling around with my mascot, Steve McKenna, and my buddy, Pleplius, as we explore the local drinking cultures, customs, and cocktails. Along the way, we'll soak in the local flavor in an effort to make drinking easy. Indianapolis is best known for the racing heritage and football team. We'll get to those in a bit, but first, the drinks. We head over to an Indiana distillery that's making a spirit from local produce. Cole Glazer and Hobson Distilling Company make a spirit from sorghum called sorghum. It's similar to rum, but made with a locally farmed plant called sorghum. Sorghum, like sugarcane, has a high sugar content, which is fermented and distilled. We help Matt Colglazer and Stuart Hobson start up a batch. We begin by pouring the sorghum into a tank to ferment. Then Matt tells us where they get this local product.
We were looking around for sources of sorghum. As you might imagine, there aren't that many people that produce it. So there was a little roadside stand, and there was a little stamp on a tiny jar. It said, Lynn Creek sorghum, Bromer, Indiana. So I got out the GPS and was like, well, let's go to Bromer, Indiana. And literally, it's a farm. The guy was there. He's got 13 children that live on this farm.
So these are Amish?
Amish, old order Amish. So he speaks Pennsylvania Dutch to his children. No phone, no radio, no electricity, nothing at all.
Why do you guys use sorghum and not something else?
The idea was, here's a syrup that's antiquated, that nobody really uses anymore. What can we do with it that's interesting?
Yeah, what do the Amish use it for?
They use it as a sugar.
Okay.
Once the sorghum is fermented, it's placed in the pot still. The liquid, containing a small amount of alcohol, is heated up to vaporize the alcohol, but leaves everything else behind. That alcohol steam is piped to the reflux column, where it's cooled down and the alcohol condenses back into a liquid that's high in alcohol.
Here you see raw spirit coming off the still at 160 proof right now.
It's then cut down to 40% alcohol and bottled.
All right, let's make some cocktails with it.
Matt shows us how to mix up a cocktail using their sorghum product. He explains that you can use sorghum as a replacement for tequila, rum, or in this case, pisco. Today, we'll be making the sorghum sour, which is made with sorghum in the place of pisco, lemon juice, simple syrup, egg whites, and Angostura bitters. Because we're at the source, we use 160 proof sorghum right from the still.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Taste for quality control.
Woof. All right.
Pour in equal parts lemon juice and simple syrup. Separate the white from an egg. Dump in the egg white.
Beautiful.
Shake. Pour. And top it off with a few dashes of Angostura bitters. Then it's ready to sip. And if you're Steve, chase with an egg yolk.
Very tasty. A farm fresh egg.
Our next location has been a downtown Indianapolis landmark since 1902. I hop behind the stick at St. Elmo Steakhouse with Chris Clifford to talk about this historic bar.
Joe Starr founded St. Elmo in 1902, and he was an avid sailor. I mean, we're in the middle of the Midwest with no water around us, but we're named after the patron saint of sailors. It was originally just a tavern, and then obviously when the Prohibition hit, they had to start serving more food and relying on that.
Well, or they had to start serving the drinks from a different place.
Exactly.
So this was the original.
Lime and a straw.
There goes the straw.
We have a little rule in the show here. When a straw goes in, it's a race.
All right.
1, 2, 3, go.
Clifford and Lamprey have no problem powering through their Bloody Marys, but McKenna seems to be having some trouble. And it looks like a tie. After an instant replay, it's confirmed Lamprey and Clifford won, and apparently McKenna has decided to just enjoy his.
That's good. Who's your mama?
Coming up on Drinking Made Easy, we visit the oldest bar in the state.
You have the oldest operating whorehouse in Indiana?
No, it's not a whorehouse, my friend.
Oh.
Welcome back to Drinking Made Easy in Indianapolis. For a list of the locations we went to in this episode.
And a location where we had a really tall bartender.
Steve,
Hey,
what?
I heard that, dude.
Go to drinkingmadeeasy.com. You're a
Drink.
jerk.
Drink. Everybody drink. All right.
We're sliding our way through the Circle City, and our next stop is at the Slippery Noodle, the oldest continuously operating bar in the state of Indiana. The Slippery Noodle originally opened in 1850 as the Tremont House and became the Slippery Noodle back in 1963.
As near as we can trace it back, the bar that Steve is sitting at is original from 1850, and the back bar is original from 1850.
Wow. So this bar, as is, has never moved from this spot.
Never moved from the spot and has never been shut down. You're sitting at a bar that was here 13 years before Thanksgiving was a national holiday.
This noodle has a slippery past. During Prohibition, they made beer, and the upstairs served as a brothel and has even been a hideout for outlaws.
As you can tell, the rooms were big enough for
a bed.
a bed, and maybe a wash stand.
This is a real live brothel.
No,
And-
it's
and-
not, Steve. It's not.
It was. Now it's a real retired brothel.
Yeah.
Back in the gangster times, yes, John Dillinger, his gang, and the Brady gang actually hid out in the back room. There are bullets still in the wall where they had target practice back there.
Can I get a drink?
Yeah, we should have drinks.
Good idea. So we whip up some horseshoe shots in honor of the local football team. The horseshoe shot is made with blue curacao, grape vodka, sour mix, lemon lime soda. Pour in 1 part blue curacao and several parts grape vodka.
Almost. Almost. That's good. Now.
I figured when you said that's good, you were about to say that's great, and then you'd go, that's awesome, and then you're gonna go, that's amazing. So I stopped at that's great.
Then add sour mix and lemon lime soda. Shake,
That's what happened.
pour,
Cheers, guys.
and shoot.
There we go. Could be a long night, Marty.
Our next stop is at the Ball and Biscuit, where we meet up with a mountain of a bartender, Zach Wilkes.
Why is it called Ball and Biscuit?
Can I grab the mic?
Yeah, Zach and co-founder Trevor Belden are self-proclaimed music nerds and wanted a music symbol that wasn't obvious to customers.
Just so happens, we found this microphone from the 1930s. It was originally called the STC 4021, and it was actually made in Indianapolis, which is another one of the cool things too. Well, when it got over to Britain, the Brits named it the Ball and Biscuit because it looks like a ball with a cookie sitting on top, and that's what the British call a biscuit.
Oh, nice.
That's the name that stuck industry-wide. It's one of the most famous mics that all the original, like I said, American jazz and blues music was recorded on. Orson Welles broadcast War of the Worlds on that thing.
Wow.
Not this particular one, but like I said, it just kind of fits what we wanted to go to with our music vibe and everything else.
So that you guys can get your head out of the gutter, this is a Ball and Biscuit right there.
That's it.
Thank you for letting me handle your ball and biscuit.
Ball and Biscuit is a part of the Indianapolis mixology scene. But if you get intimidated by their menu, they're here to help.
If someone wants to come in here and just say, hey, I feel like something, I don't know what it is, you guys go off menu all the time, right?
We do that a lot, actually.
How's that work?
You get somebody that's kind of on the fence about what they're drinking, and
Can we try it with someone?
Sure. Welcome
Hi.
to the Ball and Biscuit.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
I'm kind of on the fence of what I would like to drink today.
Sure. What do you like?
Whiskey?
Whiskey? Okay. Do you like sweet? Do you like savory?
Yep.
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
Zach deduces that Steve would like a Harrison Sicilian.
I'd like a Harry Sicilian.
Harry Sicilian? Okay.
All right, the Harrison Sicilian is made with bourbon, amaretto, Angostura bitters, grenadine, and brandy-soaked cherries. Start by filling a Yari mixing glass with ice.
You want to grab the Harrison bottle.
For the whiskey, we use Harrison bourbon, which is made in Indiana.
It was the first bourbon that was produced in Indiana. Pour until I say stop. Stop.
This is a variation of the Manhattan.
Yes, it's an Italian Manhattan. Instead of the sweet vermouth, we're doing this really good amaretto.
That's a pretty big variation off sweet vermouth.
So you still get the sweetness, but you get the almond flavors, and I just thought it worked really great with the bourbon.
Add amaretto, grenadine, a few dashes of Angostura bitters, and stir.
And we'll stir it for about a good 30 seconds or so.
Pour, and top with the brandy-soaked maraschino cherries.
They're the imported good ones, and basically what I do is I drain them off, and then we soak them in brandy for 2 weeks. So it's just another little kick of booze.
And I got 3.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. I think you want to actually, if you slow down, you can probably get the flavor of it.
Very good cherries.
Yeah. In season 1, Steve and I did eating challenges. You know what they say around my house? You make it, you eat it.
Dude, I won!
13th anniversary. Dude, you're only on like 8 Oreos.
But since he didn't win any of them, we stopped. So here is Steve's shot at redemption. We grabbed a giant can of cherries, scooped them into some glasses, saddle up.
1, 2, 3, go.
They dump the cherries in their faces and start to gobble them down. They all look equally as awkward, but McKenna appears to be leading the charge. Big Wilkes is the first to empty his glass, but he still needs to finish what's in his mouth. McKenna has hit a roadblock. Wilkes is jammed up as well, so Lamprey swallows hard and shows us that he's the winner.
Damn it, I'm last.
Coming up on Drinking Made Easy, one of us goes 200 miles an hour. Welcome back to Drinking Made Easy in Indianapolis. Right now we're at Sun King Brewery, helping them out a little bit on the canning line. If you want to know what's really going on here, go to twitter.com/Zane Lamprey. We'll give you behind-the-scenes info live, baby. We're speeding our way around the racing capital of the world, and our next stop is at the track. Welcome back to Drinking Made Easy in Indianapolis. As you know, this is a drinking game. It's also a drinking show.
And at every show, there's a six-pack challenge, and you get to pick the winner.
It's time for the six-pack challenge. For today's six-pack challenge, the boys will be jumping in the pit at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway to change a tire on a $1 million car. Whoever has the quickest time is the winner and gets to take a few hot laps with IndyCar veteran Davey Hamilton. Using this impact wrench, they'll remove the worn-down tire and pop on a new one. The jack is built into the car, and there's only one lug nut to take off. They take their positions, and they're off. They attack the car, and McKenna gets his wheel off quickly. Lamprey seems to be having some difficulty. McKenna's new wheel is on, but he's having trouble threading the lug. Finally, Lamprey gets his tire off, but just like that, McKenna is the winner of today's six-pack challenge.
How you doing over there?
But Lamprey cannot accept defeat.
So what?
That's how you change a tire.
That's how you don't change a tire.
As Lamprey has some choice words, McKenna gets suited up and goes for a spin while Lamprey watches from the pits.
Our next stop is in a skybox at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. As cars qualify on the track, we'll be joining Eric Timmerman in the
Fuzzy's Ultra Premium Vodka at Carpenter Racing Suite here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Okay, that was a mouthful, so it's time to fill our mouths with some vodka. Before we talk about it, we mix up a cocktail called Fuzzy's Checkered Flag Lemonade, which is made with Fuzzy's vodka, strawberry puree, lemonade, and lemon lime soda. It starts with a nice pour of Fuzzy's vodka. Wow. Then add strawberry puree, put in some lemonade, then try to find a spot for the lemon lime soda.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Then back at the table, Eric explains the relationship between golf legend Fuzzy Zeller and Fuzzy's vodka.
Fuzzy actually owns the vodka. He created the vodka. Actually, vodka's his drink of choice, and he said, you know what? I'm tired of drinking everybody else's vodka. Why not make my own?
What's the root of it?
Corn.
Okay.
5 times distilled, 10 times charcoal filtered. Very smooth, very clean. Just got the best unflavored vodka from the Ultimate Spirits Challenge.
I'm starting to feel all warm and fuzzy.
That's the idea.
How long's the track?
2.5 mile oval.
And how long does it take for a driver to circumnavigate this?
Well, if you're going 180 miles per hour,
No.
2.5 miles.
They go about 200 miles per hour.
220 miles an hour.
They go about 220 miles per hour.
220 miles an hour at 2.5 miles. It's going to take you about 18 seconds.
Well, let's think about it.
18 seconds.
Let's think about it from a drinking standpoint.
Okay.
Okay, so if you had a full glass,
Yeah.
and he was going around the track at 220 miles an hour, 2.5 mile oval, right? You could pretty much finish a drink in that time.
Anywhere from 39 to 42 seconds, depending on the driver.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah, I'll drink pretty much anything. I'll drink to actually losing the six-pack challenge. Fuzzy's Vodka sponsors a team that races on the Indy circuit, so Eric pulls some strings, and finally, I get myself out of the track. Coming up on Drinking Made Easy, I take out my frustrations on a popcorn popper. Sorry. Sorry. Welcome back to Drinking Made Easy. As you know, this is a TV show. We are touring our way through the crossroads of America, and our next stop is on the Sun. Sun King Brewery rolled their first keg out the door in 2008, and now keg and can a ton of great beer. After Steve and I show our skills on the canning line, we meet up with Clayton Robinson, who tells us that today we'll be helping them make the popcorn Pilsner. And following house rules, anytime someone says popcorn Pilsner, we all need to high five.
We're gonna make popcorn Pilsner!
So we add the popcorn to the actual mash just like any other grain.
So there is starch in here.
Yes.
When we heat it up, it'll convert to sugar. So there is actually the potential for sugar in here.
There is the potential for sugar there. So we're going to use this in order to brew a beer, and that beer is going to have a really delicious finish, like you just ate a handful of popcorn, which makes you want to drink more.
The popcorn is added to the mash just like any other grain. They use a popcorn called Rainbow Delight, which is a blend of 8 different varieties of Indiana heirloom popcorn.
Can you give me that bag of popcorn? That's probably 6 or 7 pounds of popcorn.
That's a few pounds. It doesn't weigh much.
So you add 400 pounds of that?
Yes.
Okay.
They use these old school air poppers.
Because my grandmother has one of these. If you want one, she has a working one. Maybe you can replace that one.
So the deal is...
Consider that one replaced.
It's a popcorn.
So, now we're down to 5 popcorn
That's
poppers.
improv. Maybe, you got any Jiffy Pop?
Okay, Jiffy Pop? Yeah, how about that one?
And for good measure, Dustin dusts off another uncooperative popper.
Why don't you guys have an old-timey popcorn machine like in the movie theater?
In order to use it for beer, we need to pop it with air. Okay. So we have to go 1980s style.
And then it happens. I do something so stupid, I almost did want to show it. Thinking a non-functioning machine would pull out of the outlet as I threw it, I take down most of the other poppers as well.
You've done something as fucking stupid as that.
Yeah.
Not to worry, they have new poppers standing by.
Once this beer is accepted by the masses, you guys, I assume, will come up with a different way of popping it.
We only make it once a year, so we make small batch versions of it. It actually won us a silver medal at the Great American Beer Festival last year.
Okay.
So it's reasonably accepted by the beer community, although people continue to look at us and say, what the f***?
So now we take all this popcorn and we go throw it in the mash tun?
Mash tun.
All right, so let us help you.
Once we have a bunch of popcorn, we bring it over to the mash tun and dump it in. This is about 15 pounds of popcorn, so only 385 pounds to go. While we wait for more corn to pop, Clayton offers up Dustin to anyone who wants to challenge him in a chugging contest. Steve, cameraman Fun Josh, and Tad the sound guy step up to the challenge.
1, 2, 3, go.
And they're off.
Josh, slow on the uptake.
And just like that, Dustin destroys them. Let's see how Dustin matches up with other chugs from the season.
Popcorn Pilsner!
And just for good measure, Clayton's mom steps in to challenge Steve.
You ready?
I don't know. I'm a little intimidated. Where go?
1, 2, 3, go.
She has it. Steve! Steve, come on!
There's no one else I'd rather lose to.
Check us out on Facebook and at drinkingmadeeasy.com.